When you were a kid, did you dream about what you wanted to be when you grew up? Maybe you wanted to be an astronaut or a firefighter. Perhaps you wanted to be a professional athlete, or maybe even a rock star. Well, when I was growing up, I dreamed of becoming a veterinarian. It's a dream I still have, and one I share with many people. As an Aggie, you, or someone you know, is probably also interested in vet school. According to westernagnetwork.com, around 12 to 13,000 qualified veterinary school applications are submitted each year, and only 3,800 students are admitted. Veterinary school is very competitive, so it's important that all candidates submit their applications properly. So today, I will discuss how to submit your application in a step-by-step fashion. I'm very eager to share helpful information about this process because I am one of those 3,800 students who was recently accepted into veterinary school, and I began the program in fall of 2025. In the article, How to Apply by aavmc.org, it is stated that the Veterinary Medical College Application Service, or VMCAS, is the centralized application service for veterinary colleges. Using VMCAS, you can submit one application to apply to 31 accredited veterinary colleges. Think of VMCAS like Apply Texas, a program that many of you are probably very familiar with because it is very commonly used to apply to Texas A&M. When applying using VMCAS, you must demonstrate 3 abilities. First, you need to establish academic excellence. Next, you must convey a passion for veterinary medicine. And lastly, you must clearly communicate your understanding of the profession. So let's get started. We will begin with the first aspect of the application, which is where you establish your academic excellence. Due to the nature of vet school, it is very important that students have a strong scientific background. So, Texas A&M DVM Professional Programs reported GPA last year's class was a 3.8. You cannot even apply to vet school with a GPA of anything lower than a 3.0, so it's very important that you take school seriously when you apply. That reminds me, to apply to vet school, you have to complete many prerequisite courses with a grade of anything higher than a C. These courses consist of many upper-level sciences, such as organic chemistry, biochemistry, microbiology, and genetics, just to name a few. It is also important to note that you can apply to vet school under any major. I decided to choose a major that provided me with an alternate career path, just in case things didn't work out the way that I liked, and I encourage you to choose a major that you enjoy. Now that we've gone through academic excellence, let's move on to the next step of the application process. Once your academics have been established, it is now time for you to convey your passion for veterinary medicine. When filling out your VMCAS application, you will be given an essay prompt asking why you want to become a veterinarian. In the article, How to Write a Veterinary School Personal Statement, Jonathan Herminger, a former admissions committee member, states that your essay is where you should authentically convey your motivation and leave a lasting impression on the admissions committee. But that's really hard to do in 3,000 characters, so just try your best to make sure that you are concise as well as compelling. I encourage you to look back on the moment you knew you wanted to be a veterinarian. Think of everything leading up to that decision and retell your story with feeling. This is your opportunity to stand out amongst 13,000 applicants. When you're writing this essay, think about how you can establish a personal connection with the admissions committee. Now that we've gone through conveying your passion, let's turn to the final section of the application. Once you have established academic excellence as well as conveyed your passion for veterinary medicine, you must now clearly communicate your understanding of the profession. All schools want you to have both animal experience and hours worked under the supervision of a veterinarian. This is so that schools can be confident in your understanding of everything that the profession entails. Animal experience can be a variety of things. Some examples are raising livestock through FFA, having worked on a farm, or even training animals. Vet schools prefer for you to have a large variety of animal experience. So ideally, before applying, you will have worked with small animals, large animals, and exotics. But don't be discouraged if you don't have all three of these groups. It is not a requirement for any of the schools that you can apply to. It is also important for you to have hours under the supervision of a vet, in addition to those animal experience hours. How many hours you must have logged working with a vet does depend on which program you are applying to. For example, Texas A&M's veterinary program has a minimum of 100 hours required to apply. On the other hand, Auburn University states that they have a requirement of 500 hours. In contrast, Cornell University's website states that they do not have a minimum number of hours. So it's up to you and where you want to go. It is also important to note that vet schools prefer for you to have experience with multiple vets that have different specialties so that they can know that you have a variety of learning before you've entered the program. This is also an opportunity for you to decide what you want to do before you have entered vet school. Now that we've gone through all three aspects of the application, let's summarize what we've learned. In conclusion, vet school is a multi-step process consisting of academic excellence, a conveying of passion, as well as showing your understanding for the profession. Vet school is very competitive, so today we walked through the application in a step-by-step fashion. I encourage you and anyone you know who's interested in vet school to apply. As one of the 3,800 students who was accepted into the next round, I can confidently tell you that the work is very worth it.